This story is from the BBC News and it comes out of Florida. U.S. Airmen shot and killed by police in Florida by Nadine Yusuf. Senior Airman Roger Fortson enlisted in the U.S. Air Force in November 2019. Florida police have publicly released body camera footage from a deputy sheriff who fatally shot a U.S. Air Force member at his home. Senior Airman Roger Fortson, who was 23 years old, was taken to a hospital where he died, officials said. A lawyer for the victim's family, citing a witness, alleged the police burst into the wrong home. Police have disputed the claim and said the deputy reacted in self-defense after he saw Fortson armed with a gun. The airman was shot on May 3rd at his home located 5 miles from the Special Operations Wing at Herbert Field, Florida, where he is based. The deputy who shot him, whom police have not named, has since been placed on administrative leave. They never want to name him, and then they always give him a paid leave. So it's like the whole system is just backwards. Don't give him a paid leave. Put his name out there. Okaloosa County Sheriff Eric Aiden said the shooting was being investigated by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and the state attorney's office. So basically, they always get to investigate themselves and they find no wrongdoing. Mr. Aiden promised to provide transparency and accountability, but added these investigations take time. But I want to assure you that we are not hiding, covering up, or taking any action that will result in a rushed judgment of Mr. Fortson or our deputy. The sheriff showed a 4-minute video taken from the body cam worn by the deputy who fired the fatal shots. The clip showed police arriving at Fortman's apartment complex and being led to an elevator by a witness who said she had heard fighting coming from an apartment. The deputy then approached the front door alone, knocked, and twice called out he was a member of the sheriff's office. Fortson was seen holding a gun in his right hand as he opened the door. The deputy then fired multiple shots as soon as the door opened, telling him afterwards to drop the weapon. "It's over there, I don't have it," Fortson said as he lay on the floor dying. A lawyer for the Fortson family, Ben Crump, said in a news conference on Thursday that Fortson was the best America had to offer. He was a patriot. He was a U.S. Airman, Special Ops. He was fighting for our way of life. He was fighting for everybody, Mr. Crump said. His mother, Chantumika, I'm butchering it, but his mother broke down crying as Mr. Crump recounted the moments before the airman was shot. "My baby was my everything," she said. Mr. Crump said at the time of the shooting, Fortson was on a video call with a friend who described what she heard to his family's legal team. The friend said the airman heard a knock on his apartment door and asked who was there, but received no response. He then heard a second, very aggressive knock, but did not see anyone when he looked through the peephole. It is at this point that Fortson is said to have grown concerned and retrieved his gun, which the lawyer said he was legally owned. Which the lawyer said he was legally owned? What the Anyway. As Fortson returned to his living room, the witness said police burst through the door. saw the resident who was armed and shot him 6 times. Mr. Crump said the witness believed the officers were in the wrong apartment, as Fortson was alone at the time with no disturbance at his residence. The sheriff on Thursday denied that officers had gone to the wrong address. In an earlier statement, the sheriff's office said the deputy reacted in self-defense after he encountered a 23-year-old man armed with a gun after the deputy had identified himself as law enforcement. But that's not quite true. Now, the witness on the phone with Fortson said after the first knock, he asked who it was, and no one said anything. And then he started knocking more aggressively, and when he looked through the peephole, he saw no one because the officer was not standing in front of the peephole. These news articles, they try to twist on what actually happened, and you got to read through that. All right, let me continue. Speaking to reporters, Mr. Crump accused police of trying to justify unjustifiable excessive use of force, and that's exactly what it is. I mean, if you got somebody beating on your door and like crazy, he might have said he the police, but when you look out the peephole and you see nothing, you're gonna have some concerns. And if you have a gun, you probably gonna get that gun and make sure, you're gonna be safe when opening that door. Now I watched the video. I hate watching these videos, but I watched it, and when I saw him open the door, he didn't have the gun raised or anything. It was at his side, and the cop immediately shot him. No warning shots or anything. He blasted that man 6 times, point blank range. They always saying that we have nothing but respect for our military and the military officers, but that's a lie. Because if they did, they would have, give justice to this man. We got a long way to go before the court proceedings, but I think it's going to be business as usual because this is what they do. And especially because he had a gun, they're going to say it was justifiable. All right, let me finish reading this. Fortson was assigned to the 4th Special Operations Squadron according to the U.S. Air Force and entered active duty in November 2019. According to Mr. Crump, he enlisted in the military after graduating from high school in Atlanta, Georgia with honors. Mr. Crump, a civil rights lawyer based in Florida, has worked on multiple high-profile cases of police-involved deaths of black Americans, including George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Trayvon Martin, Tyree Nichols, and Breonna Taylor. About those cases, George Floyd, they got prison time, and it was justifiable, so they got prison time. Ahmaud Arbery, they got prison time, and it was justifiable. Trayvon Martin case, they didn't receive any prison time. I'm not sure what really is going on with the Tyree Nichols, with the cops that killed him. That's probably still ongoing. But I do know in the Breonna Taylor case, no one was sent to prison. Usually when Ben Crump grabs these cases, it's usually, some kind of settlement. And people deserve a good settlement, but it's the extra things that come along with it. The family always forgive. I don't agree with that. You got a right to be upset, and you got a right to never forgive them. I guess that's some people's personal choice, but You killed a family member or loved one of mine. I'm never gonna forgive you. Never. And I don't care what kind of settlement I get. And with me is it's not really about the money. I'd rather see a person go to jail forever than to receive a penny from their death. You know, some people disagree with that. You know, some people money just all they is their only motivation. That's all they see. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and upload this. You feel free to leave a comment, whether it's negative or positive. Leave a comment. You know, I don't get upset with that, and I usually will respond to comments. That's just me. Yep. To the next one.